Hello and welcome. It's time to hear what's on my mind on this episode of the Trisha's 2 Cents podcast. I'm your host, Trisha. I've been quiet for the last 2 weeks. It's been, the beginning of a new year. And in Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, there's a time for everything. Which is true, and the 7th verse in that, the second part, it says, it's a time to be silent and a time to speak. So I've been quiet. I had a time to reflect and, just take some time at the beginning of this year just to get myself some time to just think and take some time off. 2020 was brutal. I don't have to tell anyone that. I don't care where you live in this world. 2020 was a hard and eye-opening year. And to be honest, 2021 is starting off, not any better. And I'm not one to make New Year's resolutions, never have. Because, I'm not going to say I never have, because I used to. But then as I moved on in life, I realized that it's just the turn of a calendar year. Whether it's 1989 to 1990, 2020 to 2021. It's just a turn of the calendar. So instead of making resolutions for a new year, I like to make daily challenges. So I try to challenge myself daily to be better than I was the day before. Because, we still make mistakes. We say, I'm not going to do this one day, or you have all intentions of not doing something. For example, I say, I'm not going to do this at work. I'm going to go in. I'm going to be a good girl. I'm not going to get upset about something. And lo and behold, I get upset because it's like, it's a challenge. And of course I fail sometimes. So of course the next day I challenge myself again. But I realize I'm not perfect, but I get better. Every time I challenge myself, I find myself getting better and better. So that's what I mean by I challenge myself daily. Because a lot of times New Year's resolutions, by the 2nd or the 3rd week of January, we usually put them to the wayside and say, forget it. Just like the gym. We say we're going to join the gym and we're going to lose weight. We're going to exercise. And usually by the 2nd or 3rd week, the people at the gym, I've noticed it because when I was a member of the gym, you get a whole bunch of people come in and then all of a sudden they start falling off. And, it just, if it doesn't really kick in and you don't stick to it, it's easy to get off the wagon. So I do daily challenges to myself. And, people are still dying. I know someone that's a funeral director, and he's like, they're still full, still busy. People are still dying. Families are still grieving. The COVID-19 is still running rampant. I mean, more and more people that I know are getting sick. So we still have to be careful and wear your mask and wash your hands and not let our guards down. So that's still going on. And people are still throwing stones and hiding behind Jesus. And what I mean by that is people say they love God, they're Christians and they're children of God, but they're doing things that aren't representing God. And that's what I mean by, how a child will do something, then they run behind their parent. That's what I mean by throwing stones and then hiding behind Jesus. And then the United States is in an uproar. I'm not going to get into it because it's just too much. But it's a lot. And from a black woman's point of view, I'm not surprised at all about the events that's going on. And it affects me more than you'll ever know. But I'm not surprised. But I've learned, like the Apostle Paul in Philippians 4:11 said, that whatever state that I'm in, I've learned to be content. And that means every day is not perfect. And no matter what comes up, whether it's sickness, whether it's death, what's going on in the country, maybe my job, might be my marriage, my children, grandchildren, family, whatever comes up, I can deal with it. I can deal with it. I'm content. And I'm going to take it each day as it comes. And when you have that attitude that I'm going to deal with everything as it comes, I'm not going to worry until I have to worry. And when things come up, like I tell my kids, I said, when things come up and it changes your plans, all you can do is just pivot and move whichever way you have to move to deal with whatever you have to deal with. We can't control everything. All we can do is control what we can and pray to God, and that's it, and move the best way we can. But what we can't do is continue to stress about things, because when you stress, all it does is make you sick, and stress will kill you. My grandmother, I talk about her often. She lived to be 104, and I'll never forget her saying, worry will kill you. And that's true, because worry will cause all your organs to act all kinds of ways. It'll cause headaches, heart palpitations. It'll cause you to your stomach in knots, and that's due to stress. So we have to learn to be content in whatever situation we're in, whatever circumstance we find ourselves in. We have to learn to be content. And if we have that attitude, or if we live in that attitude, I guarantee we can come out on top. Or even if we don't come out on top, we can make it through whatever we have to make it through. So, me personally, I'm going to take each day as it comes. I realize that yesterday is behind me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yesterday's gone. In the past. Can't do nothing about it. And then tomorrow, it's in the future. And it might not come for me. So I can't do nothing about the future. But what I can do is deal with today, which is the present. Right now, the present. And that is my focus today. So I'm going to ask you, what is your focus on? What is yours? Is your focus on today, which you can control, or on yesterday, which is gone, or tomorrow, which we don't even have any control over? Think about it. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Trisha's 2 Cents podcast. Join me on the next episode as I give life lessons through my experience, my growth, and always from my heart. Make sure you subscribe on your favorite listening platform.